The message coming out of China is getting louder by the day. It doesn't like other countries, especially Australia, ganging up and meddling in its affairs. As we know, Beijing is currently doing its best to punish us economically, but in the last few days, President Xi Jinping has also ratcheted up the rhetoric by warning of the perils of a new Cold War. A loose translation is, if we don't stop poking the panda, we'll face serious consequences. Now, it's worth taking that threat seriously because Xi controls the largest military force in the world, and as one of his supporters cautions tonight, the cost of conflict with China could be Armageddon. It's a prospect as terrifying as it is unthinkable. A military showdown between two nuclear-armed superpowers, the United States and China. A conflict that could reshape the world order. The United States and China. A conflict that could reshape the world order. Is Australia vulnerable at the moment?
Australia is monstrously vulnerable at the moment. We have this naive faith that American military power is infinite, and it's not.
Tonight, leading minds on the looming war with China.
It's going to be waged on an economic front. It's going to be waged on a social affairs front. They're going to come at us all ways.
How likely is it? How prepared are we? And at what cost for us and the world?
Use all your imagination. Think about all the nightmares you can think of. And what will happen will be 10 times more than your worst nightmare. You are talking about the possibility of Armageddon. Use all your imagination. Think about all the nightmares you can think of. And what will happen will be 10 times more than your worst nightmare. You are talking about the possibility of Armageddon.
All right, Shalom. This is Hara 1 by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Hawashai, by Hashem Harakakodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. And Shalom to you, Akim and Akwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, man, you see China is ramping up their threats towards the daughter of Babylon. All right? And they're getting prepared for what they call Armageddon, which the word in the Hebrew would be Armageddon, which means the gathering of troops. So they're basically saying they're going to gather up their troops against this place, America. Now, China is known for having one of the biggest militaries on the earth. I think 200 million men and people, like the whole damn country. And they say that they're hidden, that they got them hidden somewhere, you know, in their training. So, you know, all this is according to prophecy, dealing with Asia and Moab, all right, being entangled in this war that's coming. Because first it's going to start off with what? Proxy wars. And then it's going to end up in the climax, which would be World War III. All right? Proxy war is like a regional war. From proxy wars to regional wars to world wars. All right? Now we're in the stage of regional wars. So where they could be fighting in the region over there by Russia, on the borders of Russia. You know, Crimea. And then you got over there in Afghanistan or the Middle East, where it says Armageddon going to jump off at the valley, near the valley of Kidron. All right, the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat. And the Lord going to bring all their troops down to that area. You know, so it's going to be fought on different faces of the different places in the earth. But then when they start shooting them missiles and they start going from continent to continent, that's a world war. All right, where all the nations get involved, not just, you know, little regional wars, but they be going from one area fighting this whole area over here and fighting over there. But this time they're gonna do it with what? With missiles and invading from the sea. All right. It was satellites and shit like that. But ultimately, it's going to end with the missiles. So it's going from a region. China's threatening a regional war right now. All right, which will end in World War III. All right, World War III will end it because it'll be fought with missiles. And China just came out with this new hypersonic nuclear capable missile that can be undetected, and it can hit Babylon, America, in a matter of 7 minutes or 30 minutes. And the scriptures say that this place is going to go out in 1 hour. All right. So let me get a couple precepts because, the elites have a hand in all of this. The elites are setting this up. All right. They want to set America. They want to set what do you call it? China up as the new leading country. And the elites, they just want to run everything from the background. So they're hoping that this world war is going to break out, and then they can depopulate the earth, have two countries go against each other, and then they take over again, man. But it's not going to happen like that. All right. So I'm gonna get the precept real quick. This is Revelations 20 in verse 7. It says, "And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison." And when did they get loosed? In around 1266 AD. You can look it up. The Ottoman Turks. All right, they started coming out of those mountains, in the pits of Europe, and next thing you know, they took over Constantinople and started what you would call the Renaissance period, the rebirth of the Western Roman Empire or Esau's empire. And it says this, so after that, Satan was loosed, the adversary shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. See, so they're really want to manipulating this whole thing, man, through the media. All right, through America, using the policies of America, putting puppets in place to go against and break up the treaties. All right, causing the demise of this place, which is beautiful. But ultimately, it's going to be their demise. They're going to go into slavery. So it says this, and shall go out to deceive the nations. That's why the Lord calls them the devil. They're the ones manipulating and running things. The Illuminati, right? The Luciferians. And it says they're deceiving the nations, man, all of them, even China, which are in the four quarters of the earth, right? Because they got China thinking that they're going to take the place of America. China want to be just like America. China want to be just like Babylon. All right, let me get this real quick. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 46. And thou, Asia, thou that art partaker of the hope of Babylon. See, they was all part of that American dream, and now China wants to rule just like America. All right. Now China wants to rule just like Babylon did. They want to be the whore. But the thing is, they want more power. They want more power in the New World Order. All right, because China got all the gold. China got already started their crypto system, blockchain system. China got all the deals. They got major oil deals, all kind of shit. So they basically start their own New World Order with Russia. All right. So that's why I said the devil's coming down with great wrath, because he knows he has but a short time. He got to move quick. Because Russia want to destroy them damn what you would call Western Europeans. All right. And then you got Asia to the southeast, and that's China. And Eastern Europe would be Russia. All right. So now it says, and thou Asia, thou art that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, the wretched whore, man. It's a wretched place. China. Scriptures say they are the wash pot. It's a filthy place, man. Filthy people. And this guy Xi Jinping, he tried to set himself up to be king. All right. And was that Hong Kong? He took away their rights and said they can't vote anymore. He said 1 child per household. That's what type of power. That's what type of regime or control they're trying to bring here in America. Because China's the leading economy and bank on the earth right now. So they got the power seat. They got the benefits. They got the say-so. And we're witnessing what they want right now with the collection of everybody's data. That's all part of it. Stemming from China, with the new, with the elites. They're like, what do you want now that you're in control? Now that you're about to be the ruler and America's failing, it's called lagging. Now that America's finally lagging behind, what do you want to do being the lead nation? Well, I want everybody's data. See where it's going, right? All right, so woe be unto thee, thou wretch, to my China. All right. I think you look it up, it means sin. That's the name, that's what it means. Sin. China. I tried to look it up, man. I could be wrong, but I looked it up. It says sin. S-I-N. That was the root word of it. It says, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, man. See, they're trying to be just like America. But the Lord like, no, no, no. Yahweh Shah about to set his kingdom up. The hell you think you doing, Panda? All right. It's the lion's time to rule. So it says, and has decked thy daughters in whoredom. See? And all their witchcrafts and idolatry and atheism and their business deals based upon their witchcraft and fundamentals of science and business. So China has decked all of its proxy nations as the same, man. South Korea, I think it's North Korea, and now they want to take Taiwan and everything back to themselves. Because after World War II, Korea was split. North Korea was taken by Russia and China, vaguely China. At the time, China wasn't a real powerhouse like that. But then you had South Korea, which was taken by America. So now they want to take all that back. Taiwan as well. But Taiwan is like, yo, if we give up our rights, that's it. So they're willing to fight to the death not to let China become the next power. All right. So it says what? And thou hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers. All their business deals and new policies they've been making, right? Which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. See, all these nations really wanted to be with China anyway. So now they're going with China, and they're going to pull away from America. And now you got China threatening these nations, saying, hey, Australia, you tripping. Y'all ganging up against the Panda. The hell wrong with you? Russia is the bear. But they all ganging up, and they're going to have to make a choice. So now China going to use its benefits. And they're going to say, hey, man, we the power on the earth, man. What's up? We'll cut off these deals with y'all. We'll put sanctions on all y'all. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. All right? So it says, and that's what China's doing right now. They pointing the finger. They're going to switch. They're going to switch. Everybody going to turn coat. and go against Babylon. All right. It says, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Talking about the business deals. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works, and the inventions therefore, saith Yahweh. So they followed America and rode piggyback the back of America. I can say that in a sense. You know, all the way up to the top. Now they the powerhouse. Everything America made, they made. America made the refrigerator. They started making 5 refrigerators for cheap, with cheap labor. That's where everything in America says made in China. The economy has flipped, man. They tagged their currency to the dollar, man. And now they can raise it or lower it to manipulate America's currency. All right. So now it says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So all these things are going to happen in China, man. So they're going to go through some type of war to where they're going to be destroyed. They're going to have destruction in their land as well. But it's not going to be like the destruction that's coming to this place, Babylon. The scriptures say that America, the destruction here is going to be what? Swept with the besom of destruction. All right, from one end to the other, it's going to be destroyed, America, Babylon. But in these other places, it's going to be what? Fire, pestilence, famine, a lot of death, a lot of destruction. Just like in the Roman Empire, all these different places, North Korea, it's going to be a world war. But the casting in of all the missiles is going to happen right here in Babylon. Okay? It says, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. So they in the power. They're glowing right now. We're seeing them. We're seeing China come to their glory. And we about to rule. But it says what? It shall be dried up. The Lord gonna dry it up. When the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Whew. And thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes. The Lord gonna weaken China. All right, it's gonna get stripes. It's not gonna be destroyed utterly, but it's gonna be weakened with stripes. And as one chastised with wounds, right? Because they're going into slavery, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. So all the nations that deals and want to get with China in business, they're not gonna be able to deal with China because China's gonna be destroyed that much. So they're not gonna have nowhere to turn to. All right, it's gonna be every man for himself after a while. Okay, so let me get back to this point. So they're deceiving China, making China think they're gonna be the powerhouse. That's what the Lord like, hey, you're being deceived. They're gonna be destroyed too. All right, where was that? Revelation 20 and 7. It says, and when the 1,000 years were expired, Satan, Esau, shall be loosed out of his prison, right, out of their low condition they was in, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 corners of the earth. And China is one of those nations, and Russia as well. Gog and Magog, see Russia, right? To gather them together to battle. So they're gonna gather all of them together for a battle. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea, man. All right, so this is going to happen, and it's all by design, all by deception, and really by the prophecy of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but deception from these Edomites. All right, and it says, and they went up on the breadth of the whole of the earth. So all these nations are going to, rise up and compass the camp of the saints about and the beloved city. So now they're going to come up and surround Babylon, where the Israelites are at, and over there in Israel, the land of Israel. All right. It says, in the beloved city, and fire came down from Yahweh out of heaven and devoured them, man. So the Lord gonna bring that fire down, that missiles. The nation's gonna shoot missiles on the land of Israel and also on this place Babylon. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire. All right. So basically Esau, that's over here in America, and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. You know, and this is basically like the Roman Empire all over again. So this is what it's talking about. It's talking about right here in America, because over here you have the beast, NATO, which was established in D.C. You have the Roman Catholic Church, you know, over here too as well, a branch from the Roman Empire. And then you have, what's that? The deceivers. You know, all the elites and Edomites over here in America. They're all going to be caught up in that judgment. All right, so you have, and then you have the land of Rome going to have some destruction as well, you know. So they're not exempt. So this is going to happen, man. This is all a prophetic prophecy of Armageddon. All right. And let me get this real quick. Hold on. All right, this is Joel 3:1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So the Lord is bringing it back into mind and ready to deliver the children of Israel. And I will also gather all nations. See, right now, he's the one controlling it. And he's using the Esau to do it. All right, the sword. I will also gather all nations, even Esau, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yehoshaphat, in the valley of his judgment. And will plead with them, meaning judge, and will plead with them there for my people. All right, he's going to judge them there for his people, all their armies. And for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So we're going to see that happen as well. It's going to be proxy wars, it's going to be regional wars, and ultimately it's going to be what? A world war, all right? And this place, Babylon, is going to be destroyed. And China's threatening it. They said, yo, your worst nightmare, right? They said America's worst nightmare is going to happen. You think whatever you can have a nightmare of, think of that 10 times more. Get this real quick. This is Revelations 11 and 12. No, I'll read from 12. 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. So that's about to happen. That's prophecy. The elect, the Lord gonna say, come up hither. All right. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, man, in the chariot. And the enemies beheld them. The enemies, right? 2/3 as well. And the same hour was there a great earthquake. So in that same hour, it's gonna be an hour, man. So it'll take 7 to 30 minutes for their missiles to hit this place. And it'll come unexpectedly. It could happen right now. Shit, nobody would even know it. It's just a lot of prophecies got to happen. That's the only way we know, is according to the prophecies, man. When we see that MOTB get pushed on a more, clear scale, where where it's not just the precursor to it, then we know that this is it. That's it. Any day now, we're gonna see them arrows flying. All right. And their enemies beheld them in the same hour. So it's gonna happen in an hour. Was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, man. All right. So the temple's gonna shake, man. Talking about this earth. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. I mean, an innumerable number. And the remnant were affrighted. The elect were afraid, like, oh shit, we're gonna be scared, for what's about to happen. And gave up glory to the God of heaven. So we're gonna give glory to the Lord, because he's gonna show miracles and deliver, like he parted the Red Sea for Moses and the ones that followed him back then, the children of Israel. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly, man. So it's coming quickly. The second woe is past, World War II. Now behold, the third woe is coming quickly, when they start to strike each other and shoot missiles upon each other, man. It's gonna go from it's gonna go from a proxy war, as we've seen, and now they're going head on. In regions, they're talking about going to war in certain regions, and economically, right, and socially, and then now they're going to what? They're doing biowarfare, and then now they're going to do straight on war after a while, man. Hot war, World War III. That's the climax. I'll get one more precept real quick. Let me get this very fast. This is 2nd Ezra 16:1. Right, because this is all prophecy that's happening, man. And China is a major part of the prophecies as well. It's a beautiful time to be in, man. It's a beautiful time to be doing the work and believing. This ain't the time to be dragging your ass. 2nd Ezra 16. Damn it, I went back to. So like it. 16:1. It says, woe be unto thee, Babylon. See, woe, destruction unto thee, Babylon. See, this is all prophesied, the words of the Lord. See, this has to happen. See, he spoke it from the beginning. So it's going to happen. It's going to come to pass. This is 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. See, he told us about all this, and we're seeing the signs happen. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time. We're in that time where the Lord's going to deliver us, man. Wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So we're seeing earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing uproars of the people. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So that's called prophecy. So the Lord spoke of it through who? His prophets, from the days that were before, right now, the present. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, just like the Lord stopped the sea and the winds, with the native tribes coming over here to the Americas after 300 AD, with a lot of miracles that happened with people like what's his name, man? Geronimo. You gotta look him up. Geronimo, Gadite. All right, the Lord showed a lot of miracles with the establishment of us over here in America and scattering us. All right. So, plain beginnings, man. What? And the endings and effects and signs, man. So the Lord is bringing the signs, the prophecies, man, at his time. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land, and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So if you have the elect, you were sanctified from the beginning. That love that's in you, the Lord instilled that in you from the beginning. All right. the love that's in you towards the Lord. 2 Ezra 16:1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. So all those nations, man, over there in the east, in the Middle East, what they call the Middle East, but just the east. You have the west. All right. So all those nations, man. It says what? Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack, cloths of sack, and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand, man. So all these nations talking about going to war, they're basically destroying themselves, man. You know, for trying to gain power and shit in the earth. So even Asia's gonna have some destruction come to it. All right, poking the panda. Whatever. And a sword is sent upon thee. See, the Lord is one sending the sword and the destruction. And who made that's right? And who made you're clapping and he's like, yeah, that's right on time. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? All right, so who gonna stop it? They said, yeah, can you understand? Can you imagine the possibilities of Armageddon? You know, it's gonna be so great. That's what that Moabite was saying. Ain't no possibilities. He said, what? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? So the Lord is the one prophesied this, so it's going to happen. He spoke it. So these nations are going to do it. He spoke it, and the Lord had them create all these missiles for their own demise, man. It says, plagues are sent unto you. And what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? See, the Lord want this kingdom, man. You can't stop that. When he begin to hunt, you can't drive him away. Or may anyone quench the fire and stubble? So when the Lord, he said, what? He coming as a consuming fire. He going to destroy him with the brightness of his coming. So can't nobody stop that. When it have begun to burn, right? He said, what will I if it already be kindled? All right. It's saying free up some space. Man, I got time. Man. Oh. Only 20, 30 damn seconds. 30 minutes. All right, so now, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. So the Lord is the one that bent the bow and set up the whole missile silos and wrote this into the story. So who can stop that? Nobody. All right. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? See, America acting like they're not going to be afraid in China. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power, right? So I'm going to get this real quick, matter of fact. All right, this is Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars upon the earth, the stress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. All right, that goes along with the scripture we just read. All right, in 2 Ezra. Men's heart failing them. See, their heart's going to fail them. Or their pride and their dreams, and they're going to be scared of shit. Like we say, yo, can you imagine your worst nightmare? Imagine that times 10. You imagine the possibilities of it'll bring Armageddon. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, man. And when it's talking about the powers of heaven, it's not talking about just the rulers on the earth only, but the earth is going to shake. You know, when the missiles drop. All right. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh, man. So when we start seeing the missiles dropping and they starting to go to war with each other, that's when we know You know, any day now, any second now, really. You know, any minute, any hour, any day. You know, Yahweh Shai is going to send his angels to gather his elect, and a missile's going to hit this place. You know, so let's get this real quick. I'm trying to finish this off. What was that? 16. Okay, so now 16 and 4, 2 Ezra 16 and 4. Behold, the plagues are sent. So these are all destruction plagues, man. All right, that the Lord is sending. When you see a hypersonic missile, the Lord gave them that technology, man. He said, I created the smith that blew up the coals in the fire. That split the atoms and the elements. You know, it brought forth a weapon for of indignation. All right. So where is this at? It says this. For the fire is kindled. No, 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again. So now they're all going against each other, and it's not going to stop. They're not going to come back together and be at peace. The Lord said, when they shall say peace, peace, then sudden destruction coming. All right, because why? Because it's the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, or Salaki, it's the will of Yahweh, and he's going to send, I should say Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai? Because it's Yahweh's will, but Yahweh Shai is the lion that the Lord going to send to hunt, to gain this kingdom, right? To take this kingdom. So he says what? Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of it. That's why the Lord said, what will I if it already be kindled? So it already started. So you know the Lord's will, man. He said what? The Lord is came not to send peace but a sword. All right, and the Lord is a man of war. Yahweh is his name, but he's talking about Yahweh Shai. All right, he's sending Yahweh Shai, man. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. All right, so when they start to shoot the missiles off, man, the scriptures say they're going to be bathed in heaven. And the Lord is shooting at America right now, spiritually. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Because Ezra saw what that Chinaman just saw. He was like, yo, can you imagine what will happen? And he's talking about just America. No, can you imagine what's going to happen to you too? Moab? The beginning of sorrows, beginning of hell, man. More hell on earth. And great mournings. The beginning of famine. And then what? Great death. That's what's coming, man. In the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. You see that? All of them gonna stand in fear, man. We see Biden, we see all of them, you know, boasting and prideful. Build back better. You know, China, you're poking the panda. Russia, they out there wrestling fucking bears and shit. You know, yeah, you know the ruler of Russia, Putin. He walked with his hands by his pockets and just in case he had to grab his gun quick. You know what I mean? You got estrogen over there, I think his name is, over there in Turkey. The rulers of Syria and Afghanistan, those false princes over there of Ishmael. You get what I'm saying, man? There's people over Ethiopia, they trying to get rich now. You see everybody trying to move to Africa. And they're making deals with Russia and nuclear deals. And these elite bankers that's trying to look at Bill Gates. He's trying to establish a nuclear facility in Wyoming. What the hell? He got what? So let me read it. It says, look, this is the beginning of sorrows. You know. So what the hell? That's why they're gonna be confounded. and the great mournings, and beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And amendment means what? Correction. So with that, I'm gonna say, hey man, this war about to break out, and China ain't just making threats. It's the Lord using China as a puppet, you know. And the Lord is moving the minds of these heathens. All right, because what's his name? Xi Jinping, this guy right here. They made him a king. They took away the voting rights, so he gonna be king, and he wants to be the ruler forever, or as long as he's alive. And then they want his children after him to be rulers. It's like setting up a king. All right. This is Revelations. I'm gonna end it here, man. This is Revelation 21:1. All right. So these nations, the Lord is manipulating them and controlling them to bring about His will, the destruction and demise of these heathens, and the destruction of Babylon. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart, so his mind, is in the hand of Yahushua. All right, it's lowercase, right? Yahushua, man. So Yahweh controls everything, but He gave that power to Yahushua. You know, the Lord is a man of war, controlling all these wars, man. Just like the Lord used Yahushua to work. Yahweh used Yahushua to work on the mind of Caesar. I mean, not Caesar. What's his name, man? Cyrus the Great. All right. So the Lord used him to work on his mind. All right. So yeah, they're the ones that control these heathens, man. The Lord control them. He ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever He will. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, He turneth it whithersoever He will. All right. So with that, so we know what the will of the Lord is if it's already be kindled and the wars are happening or kicking off, man. And all these nations are making threats towards Babylon. So we know He said, what will I if it already be kindled? So He turneth the minds of these heathens whithersoever He will. So we know the Lord's will, man, for the destruction of Babylon, America. So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom.